In the previous video, we have discussed various tips to help you fall asleep and have a well-rested night. In this section, in this video, we are going to discuss tips and tricks in getting through a busy day with little or no sleep. The first tip to help you get through a busy day with little or no sleep is to drink a cup of coffee at two specific times during the day. Coffee has a high caffeine content. Most coffee actually has a higher caffeine content than soft drinks like Coca-Cola and even energy drinks. Coffee is also much healthier than most drinks like Coke and energy drinks. Caffeine also gives people a temporary boost of energy, and it also will make you more mentally alert. This can be helpful when you're tired and need a boost of physical energy and mental alertness. However, coffee will eventually make you crash, and when that happens, you will experience a temporary period of feeling more tired than before. Crashes often happen when you drink too much coffee at once. Drinking more coffee during a crash will make you feel even worse later. The negative effects from a crash can be eliminated, though, by drinking less amounts of coffee during the times where drinking coffee is helpful, such as the 2 times a day you drink the coffee. The 2 times you should drink coffee during the day is the early afternoon and evening. Drinking coffee in the early afternoon and in the early evening or late afternoon will help give you a boost of energy through the hardest times of the day. The second tip that will help you through a busy day with little or no sleep is take short 10 to 20 minute meditative breaks throughout the day. Taking meditative breaks helps give your mind and body a temporary rest break, which will in return act like an energy boost. This can help you feel more alert and have more physical energy afterwards. You can do this by laying in your car or chair during a break at work or in your bed during a break at your house. When doing this, quiet your mind using the techniques mentioned earlier in the first section. Your goal is to not fall asleep, but to rest your mind and body. You may end up falling asleep for a brief moment, and that's even better. If you do sleep, don't worry whether it will be hard to wake up or not. When you wake up, you'll always feel better than before. Getting up may only feel more difficult if you sleep more than an hour, because your sleep cycle will be most likely to reach a deeper part of the sleep cycle. But always keep in mind, once you get up, you will always feel better than before. The third tip to help you get through a busy day with little or no sleep is to try to take a quick 10 to 20 minute nap. Falling asleep for even 20 minutes will make a huge difference, like I've mentioned before, in how you feel for the rest of the day. Do this if there's a point in the day where you are so tired that you could manage to succeed in doing this during a short period of time, such as during a lunch break at work. The fourth tip to help you get through a busy day with little or no sleep is to move throughout the day in a semi-fast, energetic pace, but not too fast and energetic, but also not too slow either. When you're tired, you will often find it will be harder to switch from a low level energy task to a high energy level task. In other words, if you're sitting doing nothing, it will take a lot more effort to do something that involves high energy level, like doing the dishes or doing work around the house. You will actually have to push yourself over a sort of hump. However, once you get busy and work at a sort of high rhythmic energy level task, it's usually easy to stay busy in that level of energy for a considerable period of time. Since you are tired and need to sleep, you might think being somewhat active and working at a faster pace might make you more tired, but people have found that the opposite is true. Being somewhat active throughout the day and moving in a steady pace instead of a slow pace will actually help keep you awake. Keeping active keeps your blood flowing and keeps you awake and your energy to a sustainable level. If you have to be busy that day, such as working at your job, you will actually find your body's natural response as a result of being tired is to actually work at a considerable fast pace instead of a slow pace in order to maintain an energetic level. This is why some people get kind of hyper and giggly when they don't have sleep and have to stay awake. If you slow down or sit down, you will often find yourself getting sleepy again, and it will take effort to switch to the needed high energy level pace again. So, stay busy. The fifth tip to help you get through a busy day with little or no sleep is preparing things in advance to help eliminate things that can make a day in which you have little or no sleep harder. In other words, if there are things you can do during the day that cause you to feel pressured to get sleep or make a day with less sleep harder, you can set you can set up to try to remove them for that day. For example, if you have a job, it is wise to have an itinerary of a few sick days so they can be used on a day you have trouble falling asleep. The benefit of this is greater than you might realize. If you wake up in the middle of the night or have trouble falling asleep, having the option of a sick day available will really help you. If you're up and know you could use a sick day for work tomorrow if needed, you will have less pressure to sleep because you will know that you can use it. As a result, you will end up falling asleep better. You will be able to fall asleep easier with the reduced pressure, and you'll find you'll rarely actually use the sick day. Another thing you can do is only drink coffee on days where you're tired. So coffee can be more effective because your body will be less used to the caffeine. Another thing you can do is switch any task for the days that aren't urgent except for work and appointments for another day. Doing this frees up potential challenges you have to face with less energy. Lastly, the last final thing I want to say in regards to coping with days where you've gotten little or no sleep is understanding that it may not be as hard as you might think. There will be days where you've gotten little or no sleep, but you'll always be surprised how you'll get through it. Yes, these kind of days will always be hard. There's no way around it. But if you find yourself not being able to fall asleep, don't get stressed. You'll get through the day. I will assure you. The struggle to fall asleep, having sleepless nights, and sleepless days is something most of us encounter and have to struggle with from time to time. In this video, I have discussed some tips and tricks that help you fall asleep. I have also mentioned some tips and tricks in dealing with days where you haven't had sleep. I, as an individual who has always struggled with sleep, especially during days where I have to work, I find will still sometimes struggle with sleep, even following these tips. However, I have found these tips to be extremely helpful and I have had many more successful nights using them. I hope you find these suggestions helpful too. I am always in the process of thinking of more tips, and when I do, I will post these tips too. If you've learned any techniques that you found helpful personally in regards to falling asleep, or getting through a sleepless day better, please share your tips and insight as well. I hope you found this video helpful. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.